Hi, my name is John Cadwell, and today I'm going to be presenting the oral presentation of my research paper, The Pitfalls of Online Education, a Student's Guide. With the rise of convenient access to computers and internet connection, online education has become a popular alternative to on-campus learning. Students are able to access their classrooms from virtually any location, which allows them the freedom to do their schoolwork whenever it is convenient for them. Many people assume this added convenience makes online classes an equal or superior alternative to taking classes on campus. However, this lack of personal interaction with their teachers and other students often leads to students performing worse than if they had taken the same course in person on campus. The added difficulty of online classes also appears in the fact that students are often in charge of managing their own progress in the course, and this can be disastrous to new students who have never taken a course in this format before. Due to the added difficulty of online classes and the penchant for students to perform worse than they would in an equal class taken in a traditional classroom setting, educational institutions that offer online classes should be required to inform students upon registration that online courses can be more difficult and make them less likely to succeed than the same course taken on campus. In an online class, students are largely in charge of managing their own coursework and learning the information on their own. While online courses do have professors that manage them and are available to contact, they are not easily contactable as an on-campus professor. Asking an on-campus professor a question would just require a student to raise their hand and ask their question. Students in an online course would need to email their professor their question and wait hours or sometimes days depending on the professor for a response. This lack of contact with the professor generally leaves students to manage their own learning and oversee teaching themselves the information using the resources provided in the online course. According to Eric Bettinger and his colleagues in their research paper, Virtual Classrooms, How Online Courses Affect Student Success, they found that taking a course online instead of in person increases the probability that the student will drop out of school. More specifically, they found that students enrolled in online courses were 9 percentage points more likely to drop out of school the following semester than students who enrolled in on-campus courses. Their research also found that those who did re-enroll take fewer credits in future semesters. In a world where earning a college degree has become essential to long-term career success, student retention and success is incredibly important to our future, and universities should be doing everything in their power to ensure students have an equal opportunity to succeed no matter what the medium of education is. In an online course, a lack of interpersonal communication between student and teacher causes students to feel disconnected from the class. Students often report negative feelings about online courses, and they can largely be traced back to this lack of interaction. In her article, What Students Really Think About Online Learning, Debbie Morrison compiles a collection of anonymous feedback from students in an online course, and they were asked what they disliked most about the course or what they liked least. And one student reported the lack of the ability to interact. Another student reporting, I wish I had more live interaction with students. This clearly shows that students miss out on the interaction that is afforded to students who attend classes in person. Humans are largely social creatures, and they benefit from interaction with other humans, especially in an academic setting. Online courses generally try to approximate this interaction with the inclusion of discussion boards, but this is a far cry from actual human interaction. It feels disingenuous when a student writes a text post reaction to other students' work as opposed to telling them about it in person. Students often feel uncomfortable when an assignment forces them to interact in this way to receive full credit, with one student reporting, I hate the class discussions. I understand it's to make it more interactive. I just wish they weren't there. Students who are unable to interact with fellow students and their teachers are often put at a disadvantage later in life as well, because they do not form the important communication skills that can benefit them in a setting like a job interview. When on the topic of graduates from online-only institutions, Eric Bettinger states, job applicants with a business degree were 22% less likely to be called back if they had been in an online learning. The added flexibility of schedule in an online class can negatively affect students who have not yet learned to manage their time. While flexibility is usually the most common reason for students to select an online course instead of an on-campus course, they are often not fully prepared for the additional challenges provided by an online course. In a recent article for the New York Times entitled, Online Courses Are Harming the Students Who Need the Most Help, author Suzanne Dynarski states, online education is hurting a critical group, the less proficient students who are precisely the most in need of skilled classroom teachers. These students who are unprepared for the self-sufficiency and added effort required for taking an online class are more likely to learn less than students who take in-person courses. When a student who is new to online education begins to take that kind of course, they may be put at a disadvantage due to that choice. When a student has the freedom to work whenever they have the time, the lack of structure can be disastrous for students who have poor time management skills. Online education has become a standard in modern education, and while it does have its place in education and can be very beneficial to students who would otherwise be unable to pursue a degree, it can cause students to perform worse than they would in a standard on-campus class. Students who are unprepared for managing their own course progress or aren't very skilled in time management can be left at a disadvantage. Students may also be at a disadvantage later in life because of the lack of interpersonal communication that online courses contain. It is important to warn prospective students of the added difficulty and possibility of negative performance in the course so they can be fully informed when they make their decision about how they want to pursue their degree.